And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to Weatherford, Oklahoma, here on the campus of Southwestern Oklahoma State at the beautiful Pioneer Cellular Events Center for today's Great American Conference matchup featuring the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm and the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. And good afternoon, everyone. James Hill on the call with you, as well as Phil Yance, who will welcome in just a moment. The Crimson Storm, we will have the women's game set for 1 o'clock, followed by the men's game at 3 o'clock, and we'll start our focus on the women's game. A Southern Nazarene team coming in, only 1-6 on the season. Has played one of the toughest schedules in the nation. And Phil, it doesn't get any easier. They're going to take on the Southwestern Oklahoma State squad that, quite frankly, probably should be ranked. Started the season ranked. Currently comes in with a 7-1 record, sitting outside that top 25. But a very good Bulldogs team here this afternoon. Yeah,
absolutely. Just as you said, a team that probably should be ranked, losing that first game of the season, but now riding a 7-game winning streak. They keep playing like they are. It won't be long before they make their way back into that top 25. But as you said, very tough road for Southern Nazarene. Already playing 3 ranked teams to this point, and then again here's SWOSU tonight, another team right up there near the top. So will certainly be a tough challenge with some really strong players for the Bulldogs that are really capable of putting the ball in the basket.
Last Saturday, the Crimson Storm got their first win of the season on their home floor, defeating East Central by 6, or by 7, I should say. 1-0 at home this season. However, this is now their 7th of 8 games on the road. This team has been road tested, to say the least. And as we said, they've played one of the tougher schedules in the country. They went over to Southeastern on Thursday and did fall to the Bulldogs, to the Savage Storm in what was a tough contest. And right now, this Crimson Storm team, Phil, it seems like trying to find some sort of identity under first-year head coach Trent May.
Absolutely. We're seeing them really struggling on offense. Really can't quite figure out what they're wanting to do, who's going to be their go-to player. We know that was Adrienne Berry last year, but she seems to have taken a little bit less of a role so far this season, and haven't really seen anybody else step up to be able to consistently put the ball in the basket. We've seen some really nice play from multiple players, just not consistent enough for this offense to really, as you said, find an identity and figure out who they're going to be throughout this season.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. We've seen Casey Glover go off for 20. We've seen Abby Nehus have some big games so far this season. And we've even seen Adrienne Berry step through in some big moments, especially in that win over East Central. Can they get consistent play? Probably primarily they'd like to get it from all 3 of them if they could. But can they find some sort of consistent effort as far as what they're going to do offensively? Being in Durant on Thursday just seemed to have no flow to that offense at all, despite a pretty decent defensive effort. And that's one thing you can say about the Crimson Storm. They've done a pretty decent job on the defensive side so far this season.
Certainly has been. We've seen them consistently be able to really put a lot of pressure, play tight on teams, and force some contested shots. And they haven't been too bad on rebounds as well, sticking right there with everyone else on rebounding. They're averaging, I believe, 35 rebounds a game. Opponents averaging 34. So they're doing a good job of being able to stick with them on the boards. But with the way they're shooting it, it really has not mattered. If you're able to get those offensive rebounds, averaging over 10 offensive rebounds a game, but if you're shooting about 35% from the field, if you're not doing anything with those offensive rebounds, it doesn't really help you.
Yeah, 35% from the field, that is what SNU comes in with on the season. No players in double figures as far as scoring average. Abby Nehus leads the way, 9.9 points per game. Adrienne Berry, 9.3 points per game. And then Casey Glover at 7.9. Also Kennedy Gillette in there with 6.4. And Phil, as we look at this team, you got to think, you understand you're trying to get some other players involved, trying to get some other ways to score the basketball, but you got to think if SNU wants to come over with a win, they're going to have to work through Adrienne Berry.
Absolutely. We talked about her being an all-conference player last year, and she's really just going to have to get more touches, be more assertive out on the court, and really make sure everyone knows that this is her team. You want, like you said, you want to get other players involved, and you want to get those youngsters looks. But as far as this Crimson Storm team, it needs to run through Adrienne Berry, as she has shown in the past that she is capable of being the most consistent player and have the ability to regularly put this team on her back and put the ball in the hoop.
It's not going to be an easy test. They take on the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs, coming in 7-1 record and 2-0 in the GAC, led by head coach Kelsey Music. This Bulldog team, as we said, they lost the first game of the year. They've won 7 in a row since. Took a little break from conference play in their last 2 matchups, defeating Lubbock Christian, a team SNU saw earlier this year. They knock off Lubbock Christian at home, 77-75, and then they went over to Edmond and took on Oklahoma Christian for the second time this year. Only got away with a 5-point win. It's been a little bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, if you will, for this women's basketball team of the Lady Bulldogs. They've struggled a little bit on the road. They've had some close calls on the road away from their home floor. However, when they have been at home, they've scored 98, 98, 96, and then the 77 over Lubbock Christian. They've been about as tough as they can be on their home floor, and we know this team, when we talk about SNU struggle on offense, it's the opposite for SWOSU. They can put the ball in the hoop.
Absolutely. This team is stacked on offense. 3 players averaging over 14 points per game. And just as you said, especially when they're here at the Pioneer Cellular Center, this team really just comes together and are able to knock down shots. We talk so much about how being on the road can – usually, you know, your stars are able to travel well, but it's those role players that sometimes struggle whenever you go on the road. And we're seeing exactly that with this SWOSU women's team here at home. All the players just seem to come together, and they work so well, moving the ball around, finding open shots. And here at the Pioneer Cellular Center, just everyone on this team seems to be on the same page, and that is what's leading to those massive point numbers we're seeing for this team when they're at home.
And you know, if you're SWOSU, you don't forget, the last time these two teams met, it was the regular season finale. SWOSU came in number 10 in the country, and Southern Nazarene on their home floor in Bethany with really nothing to play for because they did not make the conference tournament. They upset the Bulldogs by the score of 86-81. The number 10 team in the nation went down that day, thanks in part to a 26-point effort from Adrian Berry. Irene Perez, who's also back this year, added 17 in that game. Addison Foster had 13. Candace Freeman, a senior who has graduated, had 10. They got a lot of great performances in that win over the Bulldogs, and it really kind of started a tailspin for SWOSU. They were number 10 in the country, looking dominant, kind of looking similar to the SNU men at the time, as they were still 25-3 at that point after that loss. They ended up getting upset in the GAC tournament and then not making the NCAA, so it was a bitter end for the Bulldogs. So, you know, I'm not saying you don't look ahead, you don't have certain games circled per se, but I'm sure they're looking forward to this matchup here this afternoon.
Absolutely. You know, they often talk about revenge games, and this could certainly be one. You know, for the Bulldogs, they are absolutely ready to come back and face off against this SNU team. We saw that with the SNU men earlier when they played Oklahoma Christian earlier this season, and they came back out and were ready to play. So if you're the Crimson Storm, you really got to be focused, and you got to know that you're going to get SWOSU's best shot in this one because they have not forgotten what happened and the tailspin that occurred after the loss to this Crimson Storm team a year ago.
Haley Tucker leads the way, the reigning GAC Player of the Year, 18.8 points per game. She's actually only shooting 27% from deep. She's usually been a way better three-point shooter, so a little bit of a slow start for her, at least by her standards. The other big one's Hayden Pretty. She comes in with 17 points a game. Those are the two to keep an eye on. You also have Taya Aska coming in with 14.3 points per game, which are going to be some of the players to watch for the Bulldogs. We are getting close to tip-off here. We're going to take a quick break and throw it down to the PA announcer for tonight's national anthem and starting lineups, and then we will have tip-off set for you between Southern Nazarene and Southwestern Oklahoma State. You are listening to SNU Basketball here on SNU Athletics. We will be right back.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the campus This time we ask you to stand, direct your attention to the flag as we honor America with our national anthem. Once again, good afternoon and welcome. And it's my pleasure to introduce this afternoon's starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Bethany, Oklahoma, the Crimson Storm of Southern Nazarene. At 5'9", a freshman guard from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, number 1, Casey Glover. At 6 foot, a junior guard from Valladolid, Spain, number 4, Irene Perez. At 5'8", a sophomore guard from Burleson, Texas, number 5, Alexis Jones. At 6'2", a sophomore forward from Mustang, Oklahoma, number 14, Abby Ehus. At 5'10", a sophomore guard from Edmond, Oklahoma, number 22, Kennedy Gillette. Head coach for the Crimson Storm, Trent Hay. Assistant coaches, Logan Martin and Alan Cooper. And now the starting lineup for your Southwestern Lady Bulldogs. At 6'2", a senior guard from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, number 12, Haley Tucker. At 5'9", a senior guard, Piedmont, Oklahoma, number 14, Hayden Purdy. At 5'10", a junior guard from Chester, Oklahoma, number 15, Taylor Hedrick. At 5'8", a junior guard from Meridian, Oklahoma, number 21, Tyra Aska. And at 5'11", a sophomore forward from Norman, Oklahoma, number 23, Bethany Franks. Lady Bulldogs coached by Kelsey Music.
Back here in Weatherford, Southern Nazarene and SWOSU set to tip off here in just a moment. Your starting lineups today, first beginning for the Southwestern Oklahoma State Lady Bulldogs. You got Haley Tucker, the 6'2" forward. You've got Bethany Franks, the forward out of Norman, wearing number 23. Tyra Aska wearing number 21, the junior guard out of Meridian. Hayden Priddy, the senior guard out of Piedmont, in the starting lineup. And one more on the floor, number 15, Taylor Hedrick, the junior guard out of Chester, Oklahoma. For Southern Nazarene, a little bit of a different lineup. Adrian Berry not in the lineup today. It'll be Kennedy Gillette, as well as Irene Perez, to go with Alexis Jones, Casey Glover, and then down low, Abby Nehus. Tip-off is set here, live from the Dog Pound, and we are set to go. Tip-off is going to go to Southwestern Oklahoma State. Hedrick going to bring it forward, and she will get it to Priddy. Priddy going to get it off to Haley Tucker. Tucker looking to drive into the paint. She's double teamed in the paint, going to kick it out to Priddy. Priddy pump fakes, goes baseline jumper. It is short, and the rebound to Kennedy Gillette. Nice defense there by Casey Glover. Back the other way, Abby Nehus all by herself, lays it up, and Tucker may have gotten a piece of it, and SWOSU pulls the rebound down.
Yeah, those are long arms of Haley Tucker, able to get a piece of that one.
They'll go inside to Franks, who draws a foul on Nehus. That'll be her first, so first foul of the game. Already here, just 30 seconds into the first period. Just underway. No score here between Southern Nazarene and Southwestern Oklahoma State. Pretty set to inbound. She's going to go deep to Tucker. Gillette defending. Tucker's 6'2", has such a size advantage. She can do everything. She handles the rock there. Pulls up from the free throw line, right at the elbow actually, and knocks it down. 2-0 SWOSU.
Again, just the length of Haley Tucker. You know, it was pretty good defense, but she's got those long arms, able to shoot right over the top of you.
Alexis Jones brings it down. A little bit of a trap set here by SWOSU with Tucker leading it. Gets it out to Gillette. A lot of pressure here from the Bulldogs. Gillette going to drive. Goes into the paint. Goes outside to Perez. Almost taken away. It'll be baseline out of bounds here from SNU. So SNU set to inbound here in just a moment. One of the nicer arenas we've seen so far, not just in the GAC, but in the country here at Pioneer Cellular Event Center. It's a mouthful. Glover going to come off a screen. Glover going to take a long two-pointer off the front iron, no good. Rebound is going to come down to Franks, and back the other way comes SWOSU.
Good look there off the pick. Just wasn't able to knock it down. Again, shooting struggles for the Storm.
And they try to go inside to Franks. There's a scramble on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball. We'll go back to SNU. Hedrick was trying to go inside to Franks, and just a little bit of a scramble for the basketball. And so Southern Nazarene set to inbound. SWOSU showing pressure, a full court trap, if you will. Glover with it. Glover going to break the trap, goes right between two defenders, and she's gone. She's trying to go inside to Nehus, but it's intercepted by Pretty. Just trapped her right there. Just wanted her to make that sort of pass. Pretty steps right in front of it. On the other end, SWOSU going to get a mid-range jumper from Franks. No good. Rebound by Perez. Perez now running. Perez has numbers down the floor. Glover going to pull up another mid-range jumper. Back iron, no good. Rebound to Tucker. SNU getting good looks early on, just can't get them to fall in the early going. Tucker on the other end, gonna kick it out pretty long three-pointer. It's good. Hayden Pretty on the board, and it's 5-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, Pretty, a very good three-point shooter. Got to be able to close out on that. Even though it's a long shot, you know she can knock those down.
Perez drives and draws the foul on Pretty. She's going to go to the line for two. We mentioned Irene Perez really hasn't gotten a lot of minutes so far this season, but she does get the start as she scored 17 just a year ago against the SWOSU squad as she's at the line for two.
Yep, getting the start for Adrian Berry in this one.
The first free throw is good.
Against a talented team like this, you sure would love to see her be able to break out like she did last year against this Bulldog team.
Well, Perez, a very long, especially a defender, 6 foot, as she's listed on the roster. Long arms, really lengthy. You can maybe see her at some point on Tucker, as SNU going to show a little trap themselves. Bulldogs break it with ease. They're going to go down to Franks on the baseline. Franks going to kick it back out to Pretty. She has a look, pump fakes, and drives. And a nice little dump off there to Franks. Easy bucket, 7-2 SWOSU.
That was a no-look pass there. Dump off easy, too. She just drew SNU all the way in.
Back the other way. Oh, almost a carry there, and instead it's almost taken away. Jones going to come up with it. SNU brings it back forward. Jones going to drive. Jones spins, goes to Nehus, wide open under the basket, and she draws a foul from Franks. Nice find there by Alexis Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice find there. All alone under the basket was Nehus. And then a tough foul. She'll find herself at the line.
Nehus, as we mentioned, the leading scorer on this team, 9.9 points per game. 20 blocks so far on the season as the first free throw is good. So you got to like so far for SNU. This is the second time they've gotten to the free throw line. Right now, 3 of 3 at the line. As Nehus going to have one more. Second free throw is up, and just as I say that, she misses the second one. Natural broadcaster jinx there as Pretty's going to bring it up with a 4-point lead. Hayden Pretty going to drive on Glover, kicks it out. And falling to the ground is Hedrick. She gets it back, and they're going to go inside to Franks. Nehus defending. Good defense there by Nehus as the shot is missed. Asuka tries to save it, cannot. It'll be Southern Nazarene basketball. Pretty good defense so far from the Crimson Storm.
Absolutely. As we were saying pregame, you know, that's been what SNU has been able to hang their hat on this year is that defense, being able to force tough shots, and they're doing that so far in this one.
Casey Glover, nice behind the back move to break the press. Glover going to drive towards the baseline, and she tries to go inside and throws it away. Did a nice job breaking the press, but just got stuck there. Aska picks it off back the other way. Hedrick with it in the paint. Going to kick it back out to Pretty. Aiden Pretty with it. Casey Glover defending. Pretty going to drive towards the baseline. Mid-range jumper's blocked. I think Glover got it first. Nehus finished it off. They're going to go out to Aska now. Aska going to drive towards the baseline. Oh, almost another jump block there by Nehus, but got more of Aska's face on that one. And it'll be free throws for Tyra Aska.
Yeah, she came in hard on that one. She was looking to send that ball back into the third row, but just caught too much of the face, as you said.
Second team foul.
So Aska going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Third leading scorer on this team, averaging 14 a game. Misses that first free throw, and you can see the frustration on that first miss. She'll have one more coming up. Very early on, 6:20 to play in the first quarter. 7-3, SWOSU leading Southern Nazarene. Second free throw is up, and it is good. 8-3 is the score. Going to see our first substitution of the game, and it's actually going to be Massey Beard into the game, who is getting more and more of a role on this team. Had a little bit of an injury early on, but she comes on first for the Crimson Storm. Still haven't seen Adrian Berry as of yet. Glover going to go deep to Jones. Jones going to go to Massey Beard in the corner. Beard pump fakes, kicks it back out to Jones. 2-3 zone, it looks like early on here as SWOSU falls back into their defense. And as I say that, it looks like they go to man. Glover going to take a long three-pointer, no good. Rebound to Pretty. SNU cold from the field so far, 0 for 4.
Yeah,
around Tucker, long three, no good. Rebound to Beard.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that stagnant offense from SNU that we've seen in another turnover.
Turnover and a layup for Franks. Beard had the ball in that trap and just didn't have anything to do with it. As Jones going to put it forward, it's going to be another turnover, just a bad pass there from Jones. So back-to-back turnovers by SNU. And, you know, if you're SWOSU, a team that turns the ball over a lot, they're going to put a lot of pressure on you.
SNU, that's been a big problem for them all year, is those turnovers, averaging about 20 a game and already 4 here in the first quarter.
Frank's going to kick it out. They're going to move it around to Aska at the wing. Aska going to move towards the baseline, goes cross court to Tucker. Tucker going to take a three-pointer. It's long, and they're going to get an over to back on Aska, back the other way to Southern Nazarene. 5:18 remaining here in the first half, and these offensive woes continue. 0 for 4 so far for Southern Nazarene with 4 turnovers. That is not the start you want, as we're going to see Devile Stiermatri into the game for SWOSU.
Yeah, what's hard for SNU is we talked about how hard it is for them to find an offensive identity, but whenever you turn the ball over as much as you can, and that just makes it harder and harder to really get into a rhythm on offense. And so that does not help the amount that they turn the ball over.
Perez going to go to Massey Beard in the corner. Beard, a couple jab steps, now looks to drive, goes inside to Jones, and is taken away again. Another turnover. Hedrick with the steal that time. Pretty going to go forward, goes to Tucker. Tucker going to go inside to Sturmaitai, and they'll go back to Hedrick, who goes hard at the paint and draws the foul on Beard on a block. And we're going to have our first timeout of the game. 4:54 to play in the first. All SWOSU early on as they lead 10-3 over Southern Nazarene.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 19.
Back here in Weatherford, 10-3, SWOSU leading Southern Nazarene in the early going. And as we take a look at the first 5 minutes, Phil, you know, not bad defense by Southern Nazarene, but these offensive woes continue.
Yeah, more of the same that we've seen throughout this season. As you said, Not bad defense at all, but struggling to find any rhythm on offense. 5 turnovers to only even 4 attempted field goals. They haven't made any of those field goals, but it's not a good recipe if you have more turnovers than field goals attempted. So that's something that this Storm team, we know SWOSU is a great team and they're going to play some smothering defense, but if you're SNU, you just got to make smarter passes out there and stop trying to force things that aren't there.
So to the line, it will be Hedrick at the line. Taylor Hedrick, a junior out of Chester, Oklahoma. She's going to get a pair of free throws. She drew a blocking foul before the break as she knocks the first one down. And the lead's out to 8 here for SWOSU. Looking pretty sharp here early on, especially on the defensive end. One more free throw coming up here for the Bulldogs. It is up, and it is good. And the lead now out to 9, 12-3, as Gillette set to inbound. They get it to Alexis Jones. Alexis Jones facing that trap. She's going to go over to Gillette now. Gillette has a 2-on-1, goes inside to Beard. Beard is blocked. Big block there. Beard gets it back, though. She's double teamed, and it's going to be a jump ball and a turnover. Sermatai with the huge block there on Beard. And SWOSU's going back the other way. So here we go. It'll be Pretty coming back the other way. Hedrick with it. Looked like a little bit of a carry there, but they'll maintain possession. Tucker with it. Gillette all over her, and they get a little touch foul there on Gillette. Will remain SWOSU basketball.
Fouls against number 22, Kennedy Gillette, her first, 4th team foul.
All right, a 4th team foul here on SNU. One more foul will mean free throws for the Bulldogs, which doesn't do you any favors on that defensive end. They're going to go inside, and they'll kick it back out to Tucker. Strimatite with it. Strimatite going to try to spin. And we'll go back out to Hedrick. Hedrick goes up at the rim. No good. Rebound back down to Hedrick. Battle for the ball. They'll get a jump ball. It'll go back Southern Nazarene basketball.
Again, you're seeing some really good defense by SNU, really closing off the interior, forcing those tough looks down low, even giving up some tough size down low. They're able to force some difficult shots, but unfortunately just have not been able to capitalize on the other end of the court.
Well, Adrian Berry checks in for the first time today. The one who had 28 just a year ago in the win over SWOSU. Jones at the wing. Jones travels. And another turnover here for SNU, their 7th of the first quarter.
Jones hesitated on that one a little bit. I think she thought about the 3 at first and then decided to go, but shuffled her feet in the process for another turnover.
Yeah, turnover's just absolutely killing SNU right now. As Pretty makes a nice spin move in the paint and lays it in, and it's already a double-digit deficit here for the Crimson Storm. Berry going to take it. Berry going to drive forward. Berry splits 2 defenders, going to kick it out to Glover. Glover, long 3-pointer, is short. Rebound going to come out to Pretty, and back the other way comes SWOSU. Glover struggling early on, 0 for 4 to start this game. They're going to go cross court to Hedrick. Driving now is Asuka. Asuka puts it up at the basket, no good. Rebound to Beard. Beard going to bring it forward, hands it off to Jones. Jones now brings it forward. Gillette now, 3-pointer from the wing. No good. SNU can't buy a shot right now. Still can't get one to fall. Pretty now coming back the other way. 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Pretty going to go inside to Strimatite. Strimatite back to Hedrick. Back to Strimatite. She goes up at the rim and lays it in. And the lead is now 13.
Great ball movement there. A little back and forth action. SNU loses the man and a wide open layup at the rim.
And another jump ball. Jones, just good defense there. And I believe Hedrick tied her up. Frank's going to check back into the game. And SWOSU set to inbound. It will be Pretty set to bring it down. Pretty going to go out to Tucker. Haley Tucker's been quiet. Hasn't mattered right now. Tucker going to drive baseline, goes to Frank's long 2-pointer, is good. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor by SNU. It'll be a quick 30-second timeout with 2:26 to play. And Phil, this is what we were worried about coming in. You have an electric offense in the Bulldogs, and they are showing every bit of it right now, shooting 7 of 15 from the field. But really, they've missed some shots. It's been the other, and it's killing SNU. 8 turnovers here in this first quarter. 0 of 7 from the field.
Absolutely, 0 of 7 from the field, just can't buy a bucket. Some decent looks on that end as well, just can't get them to go. And then you combine that with the 8 turnovers you've seen here in the first quarter, just a recipe for disaster for this Crimson Storm team here in the first 7 minutes of action.
Well, and what SNU is going to have to do, they're going to have to find, they're breaking the press for the most part pretty decently, but when you break the press, you typically have an advantage, either a 3-on-2 advantage, something along those lines. They've got to go find a way to get at the rim right now. They're 0 for 3 from behind the arc, but they've got to get to the rim and try to find some easy layups to go down.
Absolutely. We've seen them have a couple of decent looks from deep when they break the press, but as you said, theirs aren't going down. You've got to find a way to get to the basket and just maybe try to draw some fouls and get yourself to the line.
Foster going to go ahead to Barry, almost taken away by Pretty. A little bit of a dangerous pass there, but it'll remain SNU basketball. And the problem is when you get over half court and something like that happens, now SWOSU can fall back into their defense. A lot of times when you can break the press, you can then get into some advantages, though. SWOSU keeping the pressure up. Jones going to get it out to Gillette. Three-pointer from the corner. No good again. Rebound comes down to Oscar. Back the other way comes SWOSU. Good pass, long pass there to Hedrick. Hedrick goes up at the basket. A little wild there, no good. Beard going to bring it forward. Beard, nice dribble moves, has a 3-on-2. She'll go out to Gillette. Gillette this time going to drive. She drives, goes up at the basket, no good again. Rebound going to go out of bounds and remain SWOSU basketball.
Yeah, tough look there. I like the aggressiveness to try and get down low, but it's still a forced shot at the rim and just nothing going Storm way right now.
11-0 run right now by SWOSU. A turnover there by Pretty. And it goes to Gillette. Gillette now looking to drive. Gillette going to kick it. Can Glover get this one to go down from deep? No, it rolls out. Good look there from Glover. Just a little unlucky there. That was on the mark. Just rolled out of the rim. And it remains 18-3 with a minute and a half to play. Haley Tucker going to take it to the basket and draws the foul on Beard. That'll be Beard's second. Tucker's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, she just showed her quickness, that first step that allows her to get past the defense and get all the way to the rim to draw herself a line. That's just what makes her so great.
So Haley Tucker already 2 points in this game. Only 1 of 3 shooting so far, but she's going to get a pair of free throws here to try and extend this lead. It's just been a disaster of a quarter for the Crimson Storm. 0 for 10 to start this game, 0 for 5 from deep, and 8 turnovers. And we're going to get a slew of substitutions, including Perez, Madeline Schrepfer for the first time today, and then Zoe Shieldknight. Shieldknight, a freshman on this team, Schrepfer a senior, and then Perez, who got the start back into the contest with Barry and Jones. Second free throw is good. And Perez set to inbound. We'll get it to Schrepfer. Good to see Schrepfer. She kind of went off the floor against Southeastern, was limping off the floor like something with her knee. She seems to be all right, though. As Perez going to go to Jones. Jones had Shieldknight open under the rim, but however, Jones goes to the basket and gets the foul and 1. Jones will have a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, that's one way to finally get a field goal to go your way. A tough drive going with her left hand on a quick turnaround and draws the foul. Impressive shot there.
Absolutely, and that foul was on Hayden Pretty. That is her second, so she's going to take a seat on the bench for SNU. You know, that could be one piece of good news as this game continues. Jones's free throw way off. The rebound to Franks. And coming down the floor for the first time is Tabor Beer. They'll get to Oscar. Oscar drives baseline, kicks it out. They're going to go all the way back out to Beer. Beer going to drive. Goes inside to Franks. Perez almost takes it away. They go to Tucker instead. Tucker going to drive towards the baseline. Tucker going to go up hard in the paint and gets the lay-in. Tough shot, but Tucker at 6'2" frames able to finish.
Yeah, so as we've been talking about, so long. Also shows off her strength there, fighting through the defense and getting off a tough shot.
Perez driving the other way, goes to Jones. Jones at the free throw line, goes to Schrepfer. Schrepfer for 3. She gets fouled, gets knocked down by Oscar, and I believe that's Oscar's second as well. So Schrepfer is going to go the line for 3. And that is on Oscar, her second. You can see the frustration on her face on that one. She tried to close out on Schrepfer, and I guess closed out a little too hard there.
Yeah, closed out and just kind of ran over Schrepfer as Schrepfer was coming back down.
First one from Schrepfer is good. So Madeline Strepfer, as we mentioned, a senior on this team, battling some injuries here in the last few weeks. She missed the East Central game, a little bit of a wrist injury, and then she left that Southeastern game, something going on with her right knee. As the second free throw is good. One more here for Strepfer, and we're going to see Alexa Harvey into the game for the first time, checking in for Asuka. And so if you're SNU, 2 of your top 3 scorers for SWASU are now on the bench with 2 fouls. This is the chance for SNU going into the second period to take advantage with some top scorers on the bench.
Absolutely. This going in these final 30 seconds here this quarter, and then you move into that second quarter. You know, that first 5 minutes of that second quarter is going to be so huge for SNU. See if they can't do something to really put some pressure on SWASU as they try to close in on this 14-point deficit.
Hedrick with the ball. SWASU holding for the final shot. Hedrick going to go to Tucker, and it's almost taken away, and it will be a turnover. Barry all over Haley Tucker there, and Tucker couldn't hang on to the pass, and it goes back to Southern Nazarene with 5 seconds to play. So can the Crimson Storm get a shot off? Barry with it, going to go to Jones. 3 seconds on the clock. Jones driving. Jones got to get it up. She does, and it rims out. Good look there by Jones, and that's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Southwestern Oklahoma State 22, Southern Nazarene 8. We'll be right back. Start of the second quarter coming your way. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1950. 1954.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No way.
Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
Sit down. It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Fans, our next broadcast will be Friday, December 14th, as Southern Nazarene will finally return home and have their second home game of the season against their rivals, Oklahoma Christian. We hope you will join us for that broadcast beginning at 6 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show at 5:45. I believe my man Phil will be on the call here with Luke McConnell, so we hope we will look forward to having that contest against the Eagles back at home, back with some live video. Meanwhile, here, Southwestern Oklahoma State leads 31-14 over Southern Nazarene, and SNU starting to show some life on offense, finally getting some field goals to fall, but they're having a tough time hanging with the SWASU squad.
Yeah, the SWASU team just so talented, so many weapons, and just when SNU is finally able to start putting something together, SWASU comes back and knocks down a couple of trays and have built this league back up to 17.
Sarda almost has it taken away. Instead, she's going to get Kennedy take that back, check that. Addison Foster down the lane and lays it in at the bucket. Addison Foster, 4 points so far. Tucker in the corner, three-pointer on the other end. It's good. You got to get back on Haley Tucker. Back-to-back three-pointers and the lead out to 18.
Yeah, as we talked about, shooting just 27% from deep coming into this game, but we know from her pass that she's absolutely capable of knocking those down.
Foster misses the layup there, had to look right at the bucket. A good pass from Glover, and it's those type of shots SNU just can't afford to miss.
Yeah, we've seen them miss a couple of those in this one, and surprising, Foster just made a tough finish at the rim just a moment ago and then blows this easy one. We've seen that happen a couple times for the Storm, and you just can't let those go to waste in this type of game.
Beer coming back the other way for SWASU. Goes over, almost taken away by Sarda, looking for Harvey there. Harvey able to corral it, back to Beer. Keep in mind, SWASU is doing this without two of their three leading scorers. Tucker going to try it again, this time off the mark, rebound by Glover. And Irene Perez going to bring it forward. Perez stuck now, gets it back to Glover. Glover going to go deep to Foster. Foster slows it up, going to go to Sarda, goes to Perez. Perez going to be called for a travel. I'm not really sure what Perez did on that one, but they call the traveling nonetheless. They have a better look than we do.
Yeah, saying another shuffle their feet. I thought she played that one pretty well, but another turnover for SNU to give them 11 in the contest.
Beer going to bring it forward. As we said, doing it right now without Pretty or Aska. Aska's the defending GAC player of the week. Beer crosses over, going to kick it out, almost taken away by Sarda. And it is taken away by Jones, but they're going to get her on a reach. And that's actually going to be free throws here for Maddie Spurley. And it just seems like even when SNU made a good play there, it still results in a foul.
Yep, just not quite able to get it done there. Seems like they've been on the cusp of just kind of breaking through in this contest, but just have not been able to get over the hump, and each time making one little mistake, allowing SWASU to just build on their lead even further.
Spurley has one more free throw coming up. Made the first, misses the second. They're going to get it over to back on Strumatite. And for Strumatite, that is her first. Franks also has 2 fouls, their usual post player. 19-point lead right now for SWASU. And looking good doing it, led by Haley Tucker right now, who has 14 points on 5 of 10 shooting. Jones going to bring it forward. Jones breaks the press, no problem. Jones doing a nice job, gets it to Gillette. Gillette going to drive and kicks. Foster pump fakes. And they're going to get a touch foul on Strumatite, and that's going to be her second. So a couple fouls there on SWASU. See if they keep. Strumatite is the backup center, so they'll see if they just keep her in the game. Looks like they will.
Yeah, Strematite didn't fully agree with that one. She was shaking her head a little bit.
Gillette, oh, they're going to get a charge. And, boy, that was about as big of a flop as you could see. Everybody, I think, except our official could see Beer just go backwards as Gillette was spinning. Very obvious flop, but she's able to fool the ref into a charge.
Yeah, even with that, I'm not sure that even if she did touch her, that would have been a charge. So tough break there for the Storm.
And Foster would have had an easy layup, and instead it gets a foul. They're going to get a foul on Jones. That's going to be her second. And unfortunately, that's going to send Tucker back to the line with 3:06 to play in this first half. So 2 free throws coming up here for Tucker, the excellent senior listed as a guard. And, you know, that's something when you're 6'2" and you're listed as a guard.
Yeah.
That shows just how good her skills are.
Yeah.
She knocks the first one down.
Tallest player on this SWASU team, but listed as a guard. You know, she shows she's got the skill set to really play anywhere on the court. You know, she'll guard the inside, but then she's also got the handles and the ability to stroke it from deep.
Sarda going to take the inbound pass. She's going to go deep to Strepfer. Strepfer going to run it down. Almost look like a safety trying to find the ball in the air. Strepfer will get it back from Foster. Strepfer getting a lot of pressure. Going to go to Glover. Glover just can't catch it there. The pass had gotten through but couldn't catch it. Back the other way, Spurley with it. Spurley gets it knocked away, and Glover comes away with it. Couldn't see who got a hand in. I think it may have been Sarda. Back the other way comes Southern Nazarene. Glover with it. Going to go to Sarda. And Sarda gets called for a travel. I didn't see her pivot foot move at all, so I'm not sure where the traveling was.
Yeah, that had to be what they would have called, but yeah, her pivot foot never left the floor on that one, so I'm not sure what they saw on that play.
Regardless, Trent May's not happy. You could hear from him yelling, pass the ball. He wants some ball movement, so Beer going to bring it back down. Just into the game for SWASU is Savannah Gray. As they're going to go all the way across the Tucker. Three-pointer in the corner. It is good. Haley Tucker, 19 points in this first half. Your other 2 leading scorers go to the bench with foul trouble? No problem. You still have your leading scorer in Haley Tucker.
Absolutely. She has single-handedly just put the team on her back in this quarter. 13 points here in the second quarter.
Foster going to go to Sarda. Sarda going to drive, puts up the runner, way off. Rebound by Strematite, and back the other way comes SWASU. Beer going to bring it down. Beer going to go towards the baseline. Goes out to Tucker. She's going to move it around. They're going to go in the corner. Wide open for 3 is Gray. It's good. And it is 43-16. This SWASU squad is looking about as good as we think they are. And it's a squad we think should be nationally ranked. We said that before. They started the year nationally ranked. Lost their first game and dropped out all of a sudden. They started the year 13th in one poll, 20th in the other, and you got to think they're going to move back into the top 25 at some point, despite not another stumble at some point in the season. Gillette's going to set the inbound. Perez back into the game. SNU just trying to get out of this half without much more damage. Perez at the wing. Foster with it, top of the arc. Foster to Strepfer. Strepfer going to drive and gets it back out to Perez. 4 seconds on the shot clock. SNU has to hurry. Perez going to drive and draws the foul on Tucker. No, they're actually going to get a traveling call. I tell you, some of these traveling calls have been very iffy, I feel like. It looked like Perez just picked her dribble up, took 2 steps, and went for a layup and got nailed with a traveling violation.
I was just about to say that was a great move to get to the basket, and then somewhere along the line, another travel for SNU.
Long three-pointer from Beer is no good. The rebound to Strepfer, and they're going to get a foul and over to back on Harvey. That is still only the 4th team foul. One more, and SNU can go to the free throw line.
4th team foul.
Gillette to inbound. Glover with it. Gets it up to Perez. 50 seconds on the clock. They'll go to Perez. Perez off a screen from Foster. Going to go to Strepfer. Strepfer pump fakes, drives baseline, goes hard at the rim, and draws the foul. It's going to be another one on Harvey.
A smart play there for Strepfer, finding herself at the line after a tough drive to the basket.
Schrepfer has a pair of free throws coming up. Schrepfer is 3 of 3 from the free throw line here today, has 3 points thus far. Hasn't taken a shot from the field, and now she's 4 of 4 from the line. And really, one more from Schrepfer is good. 5 of 5 from the field.
Yeah, if there's one positive you can take away from this first half, it's some great free throw shooting for SNU. 8 of 10 for the game.
They're going to go out to Harvey. Harvey going to take a three-pointer. No good. Rebound comes down to Gillette. Gillette going to move forward. Gillette goes up to Schrepfer. Schrepfer going to move it. Schrepfer almost gets it taken away. Schrepfer going to go to Glover. Glover going to drive towards the baseline, goes to Schrepfer. Schrepfer going to drive to the lane, draws the foul. Good, nice job there by Schrepfer. And she's going to go to the line for 2 more. Already 5 of 5 from the field. She leads the team with 5 points right now.
Yeah, Schrepfer doing a great job. One of the smaller players on the court, but back-to-back plays, weaving her way through traffic and drawing the foul at the rim.
First free throw from Schrepfer is good. One more coming up for Schrepfer, looking at SNU to 20 here in the first half. Second free throw, rims out. 3 seconds on the clock. They'll go ahead to Harvey. She's open. Three-pointer does not count. She traveled beforehand. I don't know what they're going to call that, because if they're going to put time on or not, it looks like they won't. That's going to be halftime.
All right, well, a tough shooting half for SNU there. For sure, shooting just 20% in the first half, and that's just going to make it that much more difficult when you're playing a talented team like the Bulldogs.
Halftime, SWOSU, all Bulldogs, one of the favorites here in the GAC. They lead 43-19. We'll take a quick break, give you some first half numbers and analysis, and get you ready for the second half. Again, your halftime score, SWOSU 43, Southern Nazarene 19. You are listening to SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No way. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon. All right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Halftime here at the Pioneer Cellular Events Center on the campus of Southwestern Oklahoma State. It is all Bulldogs here in the first half. They lead Southern Nazarene 43-19. James Hill with Phil Youns here on the halftime report. And you look at the numbers. I mean, if you're a fan of Southern Nazarene, they are No other way to describe them but ugly.
Absolutely, yeah. It has been a very rough first half. 15 turnovers to just 5 made field goals for the Storm, which pretty much tells the whole story. They can't buy a bucket right now, and SWOSU has, even though they're not having their best field goal percentage shooting-wise of the season, still shooting 44%. That is a big difference right there.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that tells the whole story. SNU, 21% shooting, 5 of 24, 15 turnovers. SWOSU, 14 of 32, 44% shooting, including 6 three-pointers, and only 6 turnovers in the game. I mean, that tells the entire story. SNU's actually winning the rebounding battle, 21-20, 10-4 advantage in assists for SWOSU, also 8-4 in steals, 3-1 in blocks. Fouls are about even on both sides. However, both teams are 9 of 12 from the free throw line. That's been the big difference, though. SNU 5 of 24, 0 of 7 from behind the arc. SWOSU 14 of 32, 6 of 14. As we look at the SNU side, Madeline Schrepfer leading the way with 6 points and hasn't taken a field goal yet.
Yeah, you know, we've seen her continue battling, get to the line, has not gotten off a field goal attempt, but that you really like her aggressiveness she's shown coming into this game and not being afraid to take it to this bigger SWOSU team and find herself at the line multiple times.
Yeah, so 6 of 7 from the line. 4 rebounds also in the game, which only behind Massey Beard with 5. You have 4 different Crimson Storm players with assists, 4 different Crimson Storm players with steals. Casey Glover does have an assist, a steal, and a block. However, 0 for 5 from the field. She is, ever since that 20-point game, she has really just struggled to find her shot. Struggled as well against Southeastern. Kenny Gillette also 0 for 3 from the field. Aston Foster, the only one who has gotten 2 field goals to fall. She's 2 of 4 with 4 points. We have 4 different SNU players with 2 points with Sarda, Jones, Berry, and Perez. And then Nihus got 2 fouls early on, only played 4 minutes. That's a difference, obviously. Only has a single point in this game. On the other side for SWOSU, I mean, nothing more to say. Haley Tucker, we knew coming in how good she was. We knew she was the reigning GAC Player of the Year, and she hasn't disappointed.
Absolutely not. You know, 19 points, go add to that 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Played the entire first half, and that second quarter, you know, she really took over, putting 13 points up on the board, knocking 3 trays down and taking some shots from way beyond the arc in that first quarter, showing off that range, and there wasn't really anything the Crimson Storm could do to slow her down in that second quarter.
She also played all 20 minutes, added 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. You had Franks with 6 points, only playing 8 minutes. You had Pretty with 5 points, only playing 9 minutes. Some of those top scorers not playing much. Asuka only played 10 minutes and had a point. She's the GAC Player of the Week from last week. And then you have a slew of different Bulldog players who have gotten into the scoring column so far this afternoon. So it's a tough hill to climb here for Southern Nazarene. They've been down by as many as 27. They're down by 24 at the break, and they're going to need to find some sort of offense to go with a decent defensive effort. Again, we're aware SWOSU is an excellent offensive team. It's a tough team to slow down. And I don't think the defense has been bad per se for SNU, but it hasn't helped with the turnovers they've had on the other side that have turned into points for SWOSU. To be exact, here's a telling stat for you. 15 points off turnovers for SWOSU, 0 for SNU.
Yeah, that's been, SNU just has not been able to turn anything into points on the other end, whether it be off of turnovers or running their regular offense. We've seen it all year, just that inability to find any consistency or, as talked about pregame, any identity on the offensive end. No players just had been able to find a consistent scoring effort. You've had different players step up, as we've talked about in different moments, but they haven't had one player that's able to pick this team up and continue to put the ball in the basket on a consistent basis for this team.
So an ugly first half for SNU, but you got to play 2 of them. So 20 more minutes for SNU to try to climb back in this contest and maybe find something here in the second half. We're going to take another break for the remainder of the half. We're about 7.5 away from the start of the second half. 43-19 your score at half. Southwestern, Oklahoma State leading Southern Nazarene on the women's side. We hope you will stick around. The men's game will follow between SWOSU and number 5 SNU as they're going to look to bounce back. We'll get you that later on today. We'll also have Trent May on for the post-game show to talk about today's contest We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. When we do come back, we will have the second half featuring SWOSU and Southern Nazarene. Third quarter is underway here. SWASU with the ball and a layup from Hedrick. Makes it 45-19. Same five on the floor for both squads. Tucker Pretty, Hedrick, Aska, and Franks, as Franks just gets a steal. Glover, Hughes, Gillette, Perez, and Jones on the SNU side. Pretty going to take a long three-pointer. Front iron, no good. Rebound, though, comes down to Franks. Gets it back to Pretty. Pretty, nice Euro step. Can't get the layup to fall, though. Back the other way comes SNU. Jones with it. Jones going to go right at Tucker and gets the lay-in. Nice move there by Alexis Jones. She's up to 4. And back the other way comes SWASU. Your Trent May, as there's a layup attempt and miss there by Hedrick. Good defense by Nehus. We'll get to that in a second. Jones going to go to Glover. Glover lay in good. Back-to-back buckets there by SNU. A little bit of life again from the offense. You got to like that start if you're Trent May. Pretty on the other side. Going to get the Franks baseline jumper. No good. Perez coming the other way here for the Crimson Storm. Perez going to go deep to Gillette. Kennedy Gillette thought about going. Tucker, though, right there. Trying to go inside to Nehus. They're going to go to Jones instead. Jones going to drive, lays it up. Foul and one, Alexis Jones. And what a start here for SNU.
Absolutely great effort you're seeing coming out of the break. Being aggressive, getting out on the run, and then getting to the basket. Great job there for the Storm. And all of a sudden, they're 3 for 3 coming out of the break.
How about that? Jones going to try to complete the three-point play and get it under 20 for the first time in quite a bit so far. Jones's free throw is up. Can't get the roll, and the rebound comes down to Tucker. Tucker will go to Pretty, and back the other way comes SWASU. Pretty, the point guard, missed a lot of that first half. She goes right at the rim at Glover and draws the foul, and Pretty will go to the line for 2. You know, you got to think if you're Trent May, what he's telling his team at half. Look, he's never going to say we're not going to win the game, but we all know that this is probably not going to be in the favor of SNU. What effort can you give me in the second half? What can you show me here in the second half? How are you going to fight? As the first free throw is good.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to try to build momentum moving forward in this season. Still very early in the season. Opportunity to grow in this and make some noise in conference play moving forward. This is just one of those games that will teach you and allow you to grow as a team throughout the rest of the season.
Perez brings it forward. Perez going to go to Jones. Jones almost intercepted there by Hedrick. Jones is going to go inside to Nehus, who lays it in. SNU 4 of 4 now to start the half. So the Crimson Storm offense, 8 quick points here to start the second half. Pretty now with it. Pretty going to come off a screen. Go outside to Hedrick. Hedrick going to drive, spins. Good defense there by Glover. They'll go to Aska, three-pointer. It's good. Aska knocks it down. Perez with it. Perez now going to drive. Gillette almost walked there. Jones going to drive, though. Jones tries to go inside to Nehus, almost taken away. Jones gets it back and then was out of bounds. It'll remain Bulldog basketball. Good idea there by Jones trying to go inside to Nehus, who would have had an easy layup, but it was taken away. Franks was the one who got a hand on it.
Yeah, that was just quick hands by Franks. Just kind of reached out, not even looking, just a smart play to reach out and see if she could get her hand on it, and she was able to do so. Great job by her down low.
Hedrick with it's going to back her man down, kicks it back out to Aska. Thought about a three. She'll drive on Perez. She'll kick it out to Pretty. Pretty going to drive baseline. Almost went out of bounds. She does go out of bounds, and it's a turnover. Kind of laughs it off. I think she was looking for a foul there, and we'll go back to the Crimson Storm. So SNU set to inbound. Showing a little bit of life so far in the third quarter. Gets inside to Jones. Jones to Gillette, almost threw it away. Back to Jones, though. Jones going to break the press and get it over half court. Jones, the point guard, back to Glover. Casey Glover has been a tough half for her. See if she can get something going offensively. She has gotten one to fall already. Jones now at the wing. Jones looking for Perez, overthrows her, and Aska picks it off. Able to corral the interception. Aska going back the other way, loses control, and it's a turnover on the other end for SWASU. Perez just pressuring her step for step.
Yeah, you're seeing some great defense out of the break here from SNU as well. Just strong pressure, not allowing any easy looks or any easy movements whatsoever. Just pressuring all the way down the court, forcing the turnover.
Well, that's going to have to be a foul there. It will be on Franks as Glover tried the entry past the knee use, and Franks just kind of grabbed her and pulled her to make sure she couldn't catch it. Easy call there. It's going to be a third on Franks. Almost seemed like an arm bar there for a minute.
She had her good, making sure no way that ball was getting through.
They'll go inside to Perez, goes out to Glover. Glover being defended by Tucker. Long body of Tucker, tough to get a shot over her. So Glover's going to get a screen and pull up a mid-range and knock it down. Niehues with the assist there on the screen at least.
Yeah, strong screen there. Just froze Tucker in her tracks. And then a great shot getting it over the top.
Oh, nice move there by Pretty in the paint. Tough shot, but she gets it to fall. SWOSU maintaining the lead. SNU just doing a nice job here offensively, though. Jones going to bring it down on the other end. This is more of what you wanted to see from SNU. As I said, when you break a press, you usually have some numbers on the other end. And SNU's turned that into some easy shots, which is what they were needing in the first half as well. Glover with it. Glover going to go in the corner. Perez going to drive. Perez going to lay it up and lay it in. Nice move there by Irene Perez. Irene Perez with the layup. Back on the other end. Hedrick with it. Going to go cross court to Pretty. Pretty way out. She'll shoot it from there, though. Instead, she's going to drive. Glover gets a hand in, trying for the block. And instead, it's going to be a foul. So Pretty's going to go to the line for two. The foul goes to Glover.
Fouls against Southern Nazarenes. Number 1, Casey Glover.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams now start to force the ball inside, drawing fouls, looking for easier looks as struggling. SNU certainly struggling from deep, 0 for 7, and we've seen SWOSU be able to knock the three ball down for the most part in the game, but now really starting to slow it down and just force their way inside.
Alexa Harvey back into the game for SWOSU. And if you're SNU, how about this? 6 for 6 to start the second half as Pretty knocks down the second free throw. The only thing that's still kind of haunting SNU, already 3 turnovers here in the second half. Jones is going to go between 2 defenders. She will drive. Nice dump off there, the knee use, and it may have been blocked there by Hedrick, but they get it back. Glover with it. Glover going to kick it to Gillette. Gillette crosses over, drives the lane, gets the layup to fall. Nice aggressive to the basket there by Kennedy Gillette. And we've got a little bit of a track meet here so far in the second half. Hedrick with it, goes up hard and draws the foul on Gillette. Kind of put her body into Gillette to draw the foul.
Yeah, just kind of pushed her away, and Gillette was a little out of position, but still a tough play for her as she just kind of got pushed or forced her way into Gillette, drawing the foul.
A great start in the second half for SNU, 7 of 8 for the field to start it. We have a media timeout on the floor, 4:57 to play in the third quarter. SWOSU leading SNU 54-33. Back here in Weatherford, Southwestern leading Southern Nazarene 54-33. And Phil, I mean, we're looking at the second half. Already more field goals made in the third quarter than in the first half. 7 for SNU so far, 14 points on the board. They're coming out with a little vengeance here in the second half.
Absolutely, you're seeing them fight their way, getting some really good looks down low and able to turn them into points. That first half, SNU just could not buy a bucket, shooting 5 for 24, all of a sudden 7 for 8, improve all of a sudden their field goal percentage up to 38% for the game.
88% in the second half so far for SNU. Hedrick's going to be at the line for 2 free throws. First one is up, and it rolls in. It's that friendly home roll, and the lead back out to 22, but SWOSU's still getting their buckets, but only 3 of 7 from the field. They also have a 3-pointer, but they're 5 of 5. This is their 6th free throw of the second half already, as that one falls. And SWOSU just remaining aggressive on the offensive end. As the inbound. Full court press. SWOSU's done it all game, looking for that trap. Glover gonna break it. Now she is trapped, but they get it out to Jones. Jones gonna back it out and reset. Jones with pretty defending. Gonna go to Glover. Glover goes towards the baseline, gonna go to Perez. Perez is gonna drive, go under the basket, kicks it out to Jones. Jones gonna take a three-pointer, no good. Still no three-pointers to fall for SNU today. Nehus couldn't save it, and I'll go back to SWOSU. And, you know, if you're SNU, just three-pointers aren't your strongest suit, at least on the road. May just have to kind of avoid the three-point line. It's almost taken away by Glover.
Yeah, we're seeing they've had some great looks from deep, just unable to convert them. It's just been something that's happened all season, just struggling to make shots. And we're seeing it again here at the Pioneer Cellular Center.
Inbound to Pretty. SNU showing some pressure on the inbounds, but SWOSU gets it over half court and will set their offense. Pretty, just a good point guard, drives in and kicks out to Tucker. Tucker had the big first half with 19 points. Backs Jones down, goes up. May have been blocked by Nehus, blocked again by Nehus. And the rebound going to go out of bounds and will remain SWOSU basketball. Strimatite got the rebound off the Tucker miss and got blocked by Nehus. I believe that would have been blocked back-to-back blocks. They're going to go deep to Hedrick. Actually, Tucker's the one who's going to take it. Jones defending. Big size mismatch there. Tucker's going to go up. Nehus came over to help and I think is going to be called for a foul as Tucker went up in the paint. More free throws in the quarter for SWOSU.
Fouls against Alexis Jones, her third.
They actually get it on Jones. That's going to be her third. Actually, maybe helpful to SNU. That would have been Nehus's third if they got it on her. Tucker's first free throw is up and no good. Tucker was 4 for 4 at the line until that one. 15 of now 15 of 19, but great free throw shooting by the Bulldogs. Second free throw is up. That one's no good. A rare 0 for 2 visit to the free throw line as Gillette goes down on the other end in transition, and she is fouled by Pretty. For Pretty, that's going to be her third. And to the line, Kennedy Gillette with a pair of free throws. And I love, you know, like I said, I know this isn't going to be a win for SNU, but I love what I am seeing in this second half so far.
Absolutely. You're seeing them get out there and really take it to the basket and get out in transition. We saw in that first half they just could not get out in transition. They'd break the press and just couldn't find any looks down low, but now you're seeing them get back out the other way and really force the pressure, and it's allowed them all of a sudden to put 16 points on the board here in the third quarter after just 19 total in the first half.
Actually outscoring SWOSU right now 16-13, and SWOSU's really getting a lot of it done at the free throw line as Pretty has it top of the arc. Pretty going to drive momentarily, kicks it back out to Hedrick. Hedrick with Gillette defending, going to drive towards the baseline, pulls it back out at the free throw line, kicks it back out to Pretty. Pretty long three-pointer, back iron, long rebound comes down to Casey Glover. Glover looking to run. Glover, nice behind the back move. I think thought about the three momentarily. Instead goes inside to Nehus. Gets the lay in the fall. Abby Nehus, great positioning in the post. And puts it down, and 3:18 to play. It's under 20 for SNU. Pretty back the other way, gets it to Hedrick. Hedrick gonna drive, spin. Oh, nice dish there, the Strimatite, and she misses the layup. Nehus with the rebound. SNU back the other way, building a little momentum here. Jones with it. Jones gets it back out, and SNU will reset. Jones. Glover now at the wing. Glover thought about the three. Glover instead going to come off a screen from Nehus. Goes back to Nehus. Nehus goes up. Can't get it to fall. Tucker with the rebound. And back the other way come the Bulldogs. It's Pretty. Pretty going to go over to Harvey. Harvey going to drive baseline. Goes back out to Pretty. Open for three. She pump fakes. She drives. Goes back out to Harvey. Open in the corner for three. Too easy there for the Bulldogs. And the lead back out to 22.
Yeah, as we saw right there, they all drew themselves into Pretty, leaving Harvey wide open in the corner.
On the other end, they'll get it to Nehus. Baseline jumper is good. And we'll get a timeout on the floor from SNU. But some offensive flow, 20 points in the third quarter, I should say, for Southern Nazarene. They still trail SWOSU 59-39.
Timeout called by Southern Nazarene.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon. All right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
(59-39) your score. SWOSU leading Southern Nazarene. A Southern Nazarene squad, though, that has really stepped it up here in the second half, getting a lot of contributions from different ways. Nobody in double digits yet, but Abby Nehu's picking it up here. Only had 1 point. She has 6 here in the third quarter. Casey Glover has knocked down a couple shots. Gillette's knocked down a couple of shots. Perez up to 4. Jones up to 6. So a little bit of everything here from SNU. And this same 5 is going to remain on the floor. They're getting it done right now for the Crimson Storm as SWOSU is set to inbound. It's going to be Hedrick getting it inside, almost taken away there by Perez. They're looking even more, again, SWOSU's going to get its numbers, but looking a little more active on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, you're seeing SNU really start to put pressure on SWOSU, really making them work a lot more than they had to early on.
Beer's going to bring it forward. Beer with good speed, going to try to go inside, and they're going to get a foul as she goes to the ground. And they're going to get the foul on Nehus. That'll be her third, and unfortunately, that is the 15th foul, which means it's free throw time again for SWOSU. That has been the difference in this quarter, honestly. SWOSU's only 4 of 11 from the field in the third, but they're 6 of 8 at the free throw line as they've been able to get to the line this quarter. SNU a little more aggressive on the defensive end, but it's turned into free throws for SWOSU.
Yeah, and that one was tough because it looked like Beer was falling as she was fouled, and so I'm not sure if she was either about to travel or make a really difficult pass, but unfortunately got bumped as she was already falling, resulting in the foul.
Tabor Beer knocks down both free throws. Beer, that is her. She gets up to 3 points on the game. Jones drives, kicks it back out. Jones top of the arc. Goes to Glover at the wing. SNU, good movement here. They're going to look inside to Nehus. They'll go to Nehus. She gets fouled before the layup. But Abby Nehus starting to force her way in now. And I believe they're going to get the foul on Strimatite. It is on Strimatite, her third. Jones to inbound. Jones the Glover in the corner. Glover going to reset. They get a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Minute and a half to play in this quarter. A good quarter it has been for Southern Nazarene as Casey Glover goes up and draws the foul. Nice aggressive take to the basket there by Casey Glover, and she's going to the line for 2.
Yeah, you like that aggressiveness from Casey Glover. Had a really rough first half, just couldn't get anything to go down, but a couple of nice makes here in the second half and find yourself at the line.
SNU. Glover can't get that first free throw to fall as it rattles out. One more coming up here for Casey Glover. Glover, a freshman on this team out of Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. She misses both free throws. Beer is going to go back the other way. Beer going to spin. Good defense, though, by Glover. Hedrick going to drive now into the paint. Tries to pass it, and it's sent back by Nehus. A long three-pointer's no good, but a long rebound's going to come out to Harvey. Harvey now with it. Harvey going to drive to the baseline. Spins off Perez. Strimatite goes up and draws the foul on Nehus. That's going to be her 4th. Team looks a little bit gassed here in the final minute, and now Nehus is holding her shoulder now. That's concerning for SNU.
Yeah, and that play kind of happened as Perez went down after the drive, so Nehus had to step over and try to help, and all she could do was turn around and foul Strimatite to prevent the easy 2.
Strimatite's first free throw is good. Beard, Schrepfer, Barry all into the game. So Nehus is going to step off right now, really not moving her shoulder very much. She's actually using her left hand to kind of high five and everything. So they're going to take a quick look at her, I imagine, on the bench. She's in some pain. Perez and Glover also check out of the game. Extremitite misses the free throw, but Haley Tucker pulls the rebound down. Beard was not able to block her out, and Tucker is going back to the line for 2 more. Well, already 12 free throws in this half. They have doubled. They had 12 free throws in the first half altogether, 12 in the third quarter alone for the Bulldogs, and Tucker's at the line for 2 more. She actually missed her last 2 free throws. She's 4 of 6 from the line with 19 points, and now she's at 20. That's a good way to extend your lead. Addison Foster is going to come into the game for Kennedy Gillette. Only one still on the floor is Alexis Jones from the starting lineup. Second free throw from Tucker is good. Lead back out to 25. Teams are actually even 20-20 here in the third quarter. Schrepfer is trapped, gets it to Foster. Foster now trapped. SNU's got to get it out of that corner. They do. Adrian Berry brings it forward, gets it up to Schrepfer. Schrepfer, nice pass to Beard, and that's how it's done right there. Beautiful break of the press, and SNU gets an easy layup.
Yeah, great job there, breaking the press and continuing to push forward. Just because you break the press doesn't mean you need to stop, and they continue to look forward down low.
An interception there by Addison Foster as Beard tried to get it inside to Tucker on the other end. Adrian Berry in the corner for 3. Off the front iron, no good. SNU still can't buy a 3-point basket today, 0 of 9 now. Beard on the other end, gonna drive. Pulls up at the free throw line. 3-pointer from Harvey is good. So the lead is extended here for SWOSU, but very encouraged here by SNU in the third quarter. Schrepfer almost intercepted there. They'll go ahead to Jones. Jones, pull-up jumper in the paint, can't get it to fall. Actually missed that one. Tucker's going to be wide open. She's going to have an easy layup on the other end. Schrepfer fouls her, though, before she can get the easy layup. No easy buckets. And Tucker's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that was a great hustle by Schrepfer just to get back, just to make that foul. It was going to be an easy 2, and she hustled back to prevent the easy 2 and forcing Tucker to knock down a couple free throws.
Tucker 6 of 8 at the free throw line. She's going to get 2 more here to add to her point total. She knocks down the first one. She's now at 22 points in this contest. SNU 10 field goals made in this quarter. Second one is good. However, SWOSU 25-22 advantage in the quarter. Foster going to go to Barry, back to Jones. Jones going to break the press. 1 second, goes half-court line. Way off there, and that will end the third quarter. SWOSU still in control, but an encouraging sight for Southern Nazarene, knocking down 10 field goals in the half, or in the quarter, I should say, but they trail 69-41. One more quarter to go here from Weatherford. We'll be right back.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Only 3 turnovers that quarter.
Do what?
3 turnovers that quarter.
Not terrible.
That's much, much better.
Amazing how much better their offense looks.
Not that hard of a game sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get ready for the fourth quarter here in Weatherford. It is still all SWOSU leading 69-41. James Hill with Phil Yance on the call. And Phil, that was an encouraging third quarter for SNU. Only 3 turnovers in that half, 10 of 15 from the field. The only problem is they were a little too aggressive on the defensive end. They got the Bulldogs to the line 16 times. 13 of their 26 points came from the free throw line. But besides that, SNU really with a strong quarter there.
Yeah, it's hard to cut into a lead whenever teams get 16 free throws in a quarter. But I just said, aside from that, just a really promising third quarter. We saw a really great effort from the offense that we've been lacking recently, but the ability to knock down 10 field goals, put up 22 points in that quarter is huge for this Crimson Storm confidence moving forward throughout the season.
SNU going to start with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Adrian Berry with it at the wing. Barry going to get it to Schrepfer. Schrepfer gets it to Massey Beard, top of the arc. Beard back to Jones. Jones going to drive, kicks, Schrepfer, three-pointer from the corner. It's good. Madeline Schrepfer, first three-pointer of the game for SNU, and Schrepfer up to 9 points. And a good start to the second half for the Crimson Storm. Pretty going to hand it off to Hedrick. Hedrick goes right at Beard. It's a charge. Nice job by Massey Beard taking the charge, and this SNU squad facing the SWAS. Hey, SWASU's reserves are not in the game. This is still SWASU's starting five, and SNU still battling.
Yeah, as we saw Schrepfer knocking down the three ball on the last side, give her 9 points, and that was her first field goal attempt of the game after having 6 free throws knocked down earlier.
Schrepfer now has it, goes baseline, goes in between the legs of Franks. They'll kick it out. Foster thought about the three, drives, mid-range jumper, back iron no good. Rebound to Franks. Franks will get it over to Pretty, and back the other way comes SWASU. Pretty gonna drive all the way to the basket, and we'll draw the foul on Barry. Barry kind of stayed with her step for step, but went for the block and hit her right on the elbow, and so to the line we'll go Hayden Pretty. Pretty only 11 points in this game, has not played a lot of minutes due to foul trouble in the first half. 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, second leading scorer on the team. Probably the shocking one is Asuka so far, only with 4 points in this game. She averages about 14 a game. One more free throw coming up for Pretty, who knocked the first one down. Second one is good, and the lead out to 71-44. Foster to inbound, gets it inside to Jones. Jones splits her defenders. She's heading the other way. Jones going to go to Barry. Barry going to drive baseline. Good pass inside to Beard. Nice move by Beard. Oh, she misses the layup, though. Barry gets the rebound back, though. Foster going to get it all the way around to Schrepfer at the wing. Schrepfer going to drive. Schrepfer going to go at the basket. They'll go all the way out to Barry. Open for three. It's good. Adrian Barry knocks the three-pointer down. And SNU, just some life here in the second half on the offensive end. This is the kind of stuff you can build on as the season goes forward. Pretty nice pass inside. A pretty pass, if you will, to Franks.
Yeah, got lost there on the defensive end, leading to an easy 2 right at the rim.
Barry has another open look for 3. Back iron, no good. Look at Schrepfer pulling down the rebound. Schrepfer back to Jones. Jones drives back out to Schrepfer. And they're going to get her for a traveling call and a pump fake. I tell you, they have been really short on the whistle today on the traveling calls. You know, usually you get a little bit of leeways, but some of these pump fakes that they're saying they're shuffling their feet, I'm not exactly seeing them, but they're giving them a call every time, and you got to adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, you got to adjust. There's no wiggle room for even the slightest bit of movement on your feet in this one. So you got to be able to make that movement. That change. SNU been unable to adjust in this one.
Pretty in the corner, stepped out of bounds, and it's going back to Southern Nazarene on the other side. And so SNU set the inbound. You're going to see for the first time today, J.C. Soap, the freshman out of Stillwell, Oklahoma, into the game. The one who can shoot it pretty well if you give her an opening. Soap's going to take the inbound, gets it over to Foster. Foster going to break the press as she gets it up to Adrian Barry. Barry, they're going to try to trap her, almost taken away, but Schrepfer going to corral the loose ball. They'll go to Soap. Soap going to take her first three-pointer. Just as I said, Soap knocks it down. Lead down to 23. J.C. Soap checks into the game, knocks a three-pointer down. All of a sudden, SNU has 3 three-pointers in the fourth quarter after not hitting any. On the other end, Bulldogs with it. Spurley going to get a timeout as she was trapped. We'll take a timeout with them. 7:30 to play in this contest. Southern Nazarene showing great life, down 73-50.
Timeout call by Southwestern.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon. All right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family.
73-50 is your score. Southwestern Oklahoma State leading Southern Nazarene with the 7:30 to play. SWASU set the inbound. James Hill, Phil Younts on the call. Phil, it's been a great second half so far for SNU.
Absolutely, on both ends really stepping it up. And, I think what's helped them is, sometimes they say shooting is contagious. And all of a sudden here in the fourth quarter, 3 3-pointers after none in the first 3 combined.
Soap goes right through Franks. They're going to get a foul on Soap, but not really a lot Soap can do there. She's got to get around the screen somehow, but I guess you can't actually run your defender over, which is what Soap did in that case. So it's going to be a foul on Soap, her first. Pretty will inbound yet again. They'll go inside to Spurley, and there will be a foul on the play. It's going to be, I didn't catch, I don't know if it was Foster, I believe. No, they're going to go on Barry.
On Barry.
So third on Barry, and really for SWASU, like I said, only 6 field goals have been made in this half. Now, in fairness, they've had some easy looks, and SNU says, you know what, we're going to put them on the line instead. But 30th free throw just now for SWASU, number 31 coming up. That one off the mark. Rebound comes out to Foster. Addison Foster playing some great minutes today in the post. She's now trapped. We're going to have to get a timeout. And SNU does. 7:22 to play. It'll probably be at 30 seconds, so we'll stay on the floor with you and talk a little bit about this half. Phil, as we said, right now SNU is 13 of 21 from the field, shooting well over 50% in this half. They are 3 of 5 from behind the arc, 60% from the three-point line. After starting this game so poorly, suddenly they can't miss from behind the arc. They started 0 for 9, now 3 of 3 ever since. What's changed? What do you think Trent May was telling his team as they were getting ready for the second half?
I think it's one of those things where he just says, just show me some effort. We have the opportunity to go out here and fight and really build on this. This is the opportunity playing one of the best teams, if not the best team in the GAC. This is your opportunity to grow as a team, to gain experience, and you can only get better in these type of games. So if you go out and you show that effort, you show that fight, then you're able to really build on that. And I think we're seeing that, breaking the press. That's something we saw them able to do in the first half a little bit, but they weren't able to capitalize on breaking that press. Now here in the second half, and especially as of late the last few minutes, we're really seeing them break that press and capitalize, get those easy looks at the bucket, and that's really what's allowed them to build on that shooting percentage and shoot for the second half, now shooting 13 of 21, which is a remarkable field goal percentage looking at what they shot in the first half.
Well, what they shot, they were, shooting so poorly in the first half. They got their shooting percentage up to 40% now in this game. It could be a little misleading if you're looking at it just now, but, it was 5 of 24 in the first half, and it's been a complete turnaround here in the second half. And, there's just almost a new energy with this team right now. You can just see the energy on the bench, on the floor, from everyone, and Trent May's got to be very pleased with what he's seen in the second half. The two teams are even at 31 here in the second half as Schrepfer is trapped. Schrepfer has nowhere to go right now, and it's going to be a 10-second, couldn't get it over half court in 10 seconds. SNU just, I don't think was aware how many seconds they had after the first timeouts, and so that is only their fifth turnover here in the second half. As Pretty's going to get set to inbound, goes inside to Franks. Franks going to pull it back out to the baseline. She now drives on Beard, loses it, and it's a turnover on the other end. Good job by Massey Beard holding her ground there.
And, we've seen this SNU team, whenever they don't turn the ball over, it sounds obvious, but they're a completely different team when they don't turn the ball over. Playing ECU, they got their win against them because their turnover numbers were so low, and we're seeing here in the second half just 5 turnovers and playing evenly with such a great SWASU team.
SNU just gets it over half court. Schrepfer with it, has numbers. Beard thought about the jumper, goes back to Schrepfer, thought about the 3, going to go to Soap instead. Now they'll go to Barry, who will take the 3, rattles out. Good look there from Barry, just couldn't get it to fall. SWASU coming back on the other end, Pretty with it. Pretty going to go out to Asuka wide open for 3. Oh, too long, though. And the long rebound's going to come out to Foster. Back the other end comes SNU. Schrepfer gets bumped. I can see Haley Tucker from here kind of putting her arms up like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was an interesting foul there, unnecessary.
Well, just going for the steal. Just went right through Schrepfer in the process. As Schrepfer going to bring it back out, and SNU is going to reset. They'll get it out to Barry, top of the arc. Barry going to go off a screen from Foster, goes to the basket, lays it up, misses short, and SWASU with the rebound. Pretty with it. Pretty going to bring it forward. Pretty crosses over, kicks it out to Spurley. Spurley drives, backing down, tough shot, back iron no good, rebound to Foster. Schrepfer with it. Schrepfer knocked away from behind by Asuka, who makes the save. Good play there by Asuka. And then almost lost there by Pretty, and then she gets tied up momentarily, but they're going to get a foul on Schrepfer. As the fourth team foul already on SNU. So remain Bulldog basketball, 5:58 to play in this contest. Spurley set the inbound right in front of us. They'll get it into Pretty. Pretty gonna drive on Foster. Pretty gonna kick it back out to Spurley. Spurley now gonna drive into the paint. Tough layup, foul, can't get it to fall. And Spurley's gonna go to the line for two.
Yeah, good job by her being able to get around and just get that shot up as she was falling to the ground, almost able to get it to go.
Third foul on Massey Beard. 3 substitutions set to come in here for SNU as the first free throw is good. You're going to see Jones, Glover, and Gillette all back into the game. Barry, Schrepfer, and Beard back out. Trying to see Nehus. Be surprised maybe if we see her again with her shoulder kind of bothering her. We'll see as the game progresses.
Yeah, you can still see her on the bench over there holding that shoulder, so you just hoping that it's maybe just a bruise there and can work that out before the next game.
Glover with it as the second free throw was missed. Gillette gonna go to Soap. Soap long three-pointer. Front iron no good. Rebound to Franks. SNU cooling off a little bit here in the fourth. Spurley with it. Spurley gonna drive, kicks it to Asuka. Asuka open for 3. That is way off the mark. Tucker can't corral the rebound. The rebound comes to Soap. They'll go up ahead to Glover. Glover does have numbers. Glover gonna take a mid-range herself. Back iron no good. Now if you're Glover there, you had a 3-on-2. Maybe you want to see the ball move a little bit there. Nonetheless, Spurley back on the other end. Goes up hard at the rim and gets the lay-in to fall.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Glover. On the break, taking a very long contested two. A really tough shot you don't really want to see in that situation.
Jones with it. And SNU is going to reset here. Under 5 to play in this contest. A good second half, as we said a few times for SNU. Gillette's going to take a 3. Front iron no good. As we said, SNU starting to cool off a little bit more, not getting those easy looks as they were getting in the third quarter. Spurley now with it at the wing. Spurley going to go out to Tucker. Tucker's been pretty quiet here in the second half. All her points have come off free throws. Jones defending her well here. Tucker going to go up, and they're going to get a foul. It's going to be on the floor, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be free throws either way. And they're going to get it on Jones. For Jones, that is her 4th. So 3 players for SNU with 4 fouls in Nehus, Gillette, and Jones. Tucker back at the line. Knocks the first one down. She's up to 24. She's going to have her 12th appearance at the free throw line. You can do it all. She can do it in the paint. She can do it from behind the arc. And she can be aggressive and get to the line and knock those free throws down. Savannah Gray's going to check into the game for the first time today. Haley Tucker checks out of this game. 36 minutes for her. 25 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 10 of 12 from the line. 3 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. Reigning GAC Player of the Year. Showing why she was the GAC Player of the Year. Gillette gets it over half court, goes over to Glover. And SNU going to reset. You can hear Coach May from here saying, share the ball. Foster going to go to Soap, top of the arc. Goes to Glover, almost taken away by Pretty. 7 seconds on the shot clock. So Gillette going to get set to inbound here. Gillette inside to Glover. 5 seconds on the shot clock. SNU going to have to hurry. Glover almost gets it taken away. Instead, we'll go to Foster. Just got it off. It's going to be a shot clock violation, though, as it was way off. Had to force one up there. And it will go back to SWOSU. And now SNU has gone cold. They've been scoreless in the last 4 minutes now. And, you know, we're getting towards the end of the contest. But nonetheless, SNU has cooled off. Spurley going to back down Foster. Goes outside to Pretty. She'll take a three-pointer. No good. Rebound to Kennedy Gillette. Almost had it knocked away. Soap will now get in. They're going to get a foul on the dive by Franks. That's going to be her 4th.
Fouls against Southwestern's Bethany Franks, her 4th.
We're going to see for the first time today, Katie Percival into the game. Checking in for Asuka. Had a little bit of a slow night for Asuka. 4 points on the day, 1 of 4 shooting. SNU did a nice job containing Asuka. But this SWASU's team so deep as they're going to go baseline jumper for Foster. It's off the mark. And we're going to get a foul on the floor. And it's going to be on SWASU. So Percival called with a foul. That's going to be free throws for SNU.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, but Alexis Jones was on the floor, so she might have got pushed as SWASU was headed back the other way, giving SNU the sideline out of bounds.
They're going to look at this. All we saw was Jones go to the ground. I didn't see how she went to the ground, but it looks like officials are going to have a conversation. They're going to go look at the monitor, I guess make sure there's no flagrant or anything like that. So while they do that, we'll take a quick break. We're in the 4th quarter. There's 3:21 to play. SNU trails SWASU 79-50. Back here, 79-50 to score. SWASU leading Southern Nazarene. The officials are bringing both Trent May and Kelsey Music, the 2 head coaches, to have a conversation. I saw one of the refs just motion an elbow. I don't know if they're saying there was an elbow or what. If that's the case, that would be a flagrant, I believe.
And looks like that's what they're going to do.
It's going to be a flagrant foul, so.
Send Gillette to the line.
Yeah, Gillette's going to go to the line. And she'll get 2 free throws. So the first one is up. Way off the mark. Not sure what happened there. Gillette was way to the left and hit the backboard there. For the second free throw is up, and that one's no good. And Gabe Gillette, typically a very good free throw shooter. Not sure what happened on that one.
Yeah, the second one a little bit closer, but I don't know what happened there at the beginning.
Gillette to inbound. We'll get it to Jones, and SNU will keep the basketball here. Jones to Foster. Foster going to go out to Soap. Soap's played a lot of minutes here in the second half. Foster now at the wing. Foster to Glover. They'll move it around to Soap. Soap going to go inside to Foster. Nice move in the post. Puts it up. Can't get it to fall. Good look again by Foster. Just can't get it to fall in the paint.
Yeah, after a great third quarter and a really strong start to the fourth quarter, SNU very cold now here at the end of this game.
Frank's going to get the easy lay-in under the basket, and now we're just watching the clock, waiting for it to run out, and getting out of here with no other injuries or any other concerns. It's Gillette going to go up to the rim. Can't get the layup to fall. Rebound down to Franks. SWASU's going to come away with the victory. As we said, SNU kind of cooling off here late in the fourth quarter. There'll be a foul on the play as Percival went to the cup. Foul's going to be on Soap. Percival's going to go to the line for 2. We're going to see almost a line change here for SNU. See Sarda, I believe Perez is in there. Julia Schwacke set to check in for the first time today. And then Schrepfer as well as the first free throw is good by Percival.
Entering for Southwestern, number 2, Taylor Beard. Entering for Southern Nazarene, number 4, Irene Perez, number 11.
And we're missing one. Everybody came off the floor except one. There's only 4 players on the floor for SNU. Actually, take that. Soap is standing next to Coach May, so there we go. Thought she came off for a minute. And so SNU set to inbound. Down 83-50 to the GAC favorite, SWOSU. Perez is going to bring it forward. SWOSU was picked to win the GAC championship. Started a nice pass to Schwacke. Schwacke pump fakes and puts the layup in. Julia Schwacke on the board as she just checks into the game. 2 minutes to play in this game. Beer going to bring it forward with Sarda defending. Gets it to Spurley. Spurley going to drive to the basket, spins, puts it up, and gets the layup to fall. Had Perez draped all over her.
Yeah, tough play there. Strong finish, though.
Schrepfer going to dribble it, get it back out, run some clock. Perez with it. Perez going to drive, kicks it to Soap. They'll go to Schrepfer, out to Schwacke. Schwacke to Perez. Perez going to drive to the free throw line and gets tied up by Franks. And it will be a turnover for SNU. Harvey into the game, along with Ashley Robinson. Check that, Ashley Robinson, not Ashy. And then Shayna Bent going to check into the game for SNU for Irene Perez. So Bent, one of the seniors on this team, getting her first action. Well, Phil, as we kind of wrap things up, you know, some promising things in the second half, but obviously Southern Nazarene, it's same as we've said before. They're going to have to do some work on this offensive end. We saw some promise in the second half as Bent is going to take a block. But, you know, SNU going to have to continue to improve on that offensive end.
Yeah, just continue to struggle as well as they looked in that third quarter. They kind of went back to their struggles there in the fourth quarter. Just inability to knock down shots. Turnovers weren't too bad there in the second half overall after a really struggling to hold on to the ball there in the first half. But got to find some sort of identity, some sort of consistency on that offensive end, the ability to have someone to turn to when no one else can find the buckets, find someone else that can help the team and really get them rolling because they haven't found that identity yet. And once again this year, or tonight, no players in double digits for the Storm.
Well, as we say that, Schrepfer gets fouled at the cup, so she has a chance to get into double figures with 2 free throws coming up. And we say that, nobody's in double figures, but you got almost 11 different players who have scored today, so that part's not a bad thing, but who can they find that they can go to consistently, I think, is going to be the key, as Schrepfer's first free throw is good, so she is up to 10 points in this game, despite only being 1 for 1 from the field.
You know, that's some efficiency right there. 1 field goal attempt and 10 points, possibly 11.
Yeah, exactly. Second field goal from Schrepfer is good. We'll remind you, SNU women are back in action December 14th. They'll take on Oklahoma Christian at 6 o'clock. We'll hope you join us for that. And the men's game is coming up next here in Weatherford. They'll take on SWOSU. There's an interception by Sonia Sarda. She takes it away. Sarda going to go deep, dangerous pass, but Shayna Bent comes down with it and then gets fouled, and so Shayna Bent's going to go to the line for 2. But as we said, the women will have their chance to finally come back home, and they'll get their rivals in the Eagles coming up before they close the 2018 portion of their season with Central Oklahoma, another ranked team. Just an unbelievably tough schedule. I cannot get over how tough the schedule has been for SNU. And then, as we said, the men coming up next. Just a reminder, as Bent hits the first free throw, that men's game will be on a separate stream, on a separate broadcast. Check SNU Athletics or the SNU Athletics Twitter page to find that link and get ready for the men's game. We will have Trent May joining us in the post game as Bent knocks down both free throws in the game. Back the other way comes SWOSU. It's Beer. Beer going to go out to Percival. Percival drives baseline, goes up, and gets fouled. Whew, we have had 63 total free throws coming up, not including the 2 we're about to see. There's been a lot of fouls in this game.
Indeed, there have been both teams doing a good job of kind of forcing their way to the rim and drawing the foul. Of course, a lot more free throws for SWOSU than SNU. Number 41 and 42 coming up for SWOSU. But even SNU, getting to the line 23 times is a solid number for this team.
First free throw was no good. 1 more free throw coming up. Second free throw also no good, and Bent's going to pull the rebound down, and that should just about do it here shortly as it's almost taken away. It'll be a scramble on the floor. It'll be a jump ball they get just at the last second. Crowd thought it should have been a straight steal, but to their disapproval, it's going to remain SNU basketball with 30 seconds to play. About a 6-second difference between shot and game clock. SNU has scored 37 points in the second half. So you've got to be pleased with that effort as they'll go inside to Bent. Bent going to go up for the lay-in, misses. Rebound comes down to Schrepfer, who has 6 rebounds today. How about that?
Yeah, you love the effort we've seen from Schrepfer in this one of the smaller players on the court, but just being involved in all aspects of the game.
Schrepfer going to pump fake, drive, goes up, lays it in at the buzzer. A little bit of a buzzer beater there, but all it does is change the final score. And it is a final here. Madeline Schrepfer going for 13 points, I should say. However, SWOSU finishes the game with an 87-58 victory on their home floor over Southern Nazarene. Well, the postgame show coming up, we will give you some final stats, and we will have head coach Trent May coming to the broadcast booth real quick. Actually, real quick, we'll give you a couple quick final stats. SNU goes 20 of 56, 36% from the field. Much better in the second half, going 15 of 32, just a shade under 50%, including that 10 of 15 third quarter. SWOSU, 23 of 53 from the field, 43%. They connect on 9 3-pointers, 32 of 42 from the free throw line. My goodness, that is a lot of free throws. 15 of 23 for our SNU on the other side. Your leading scorers, Kaylee Tucker goes for 25. Pretty goes for 13. Franks with 10 for SNU. Schrepfer leads the way with 13. Nehus had 7. And Alexis Jones with 6. We'll be right back. Head coach Trent May will be with us in just a moment. Sorry. So we'll have head coach Trent May joining us in a minute. James Hill with Phil Youns here after Southern Nazarene falls to Southwestern Oklahoma State. Phil, tough game, but encouraging second half for SNU.
Absolutely. We saw them do some really nice things on the offensive end in that second half, knocking down some shots and just overall playing really well, playing some team ball, getting out on the break, breaking the press, and being able to take advantage when they were breaking the press was huge for this SNU team. And those are all things that you can continue to build on and can grow your confidence moving forward through GAC play.
And these two teams are going to meet again later on in the season, so you're thinking hopefully you can take something from this. This is a team you beat on your home floor a year ago. And it's a team, you hung with them in the second half. Let me get the exact numbers of what it was here in just a second, but, pretty even second half between these two teams. Really, the only thing SWOSU had you in the advantage was the free throw line, but really SNU shot a little bit better, turned those turnovers down to only 8 in the second half, which is a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, being able to cut those down so huge for this SNU team. That's been a huge thorn in their side throughout this season, is turning the ball over and giving up easy points to the other teams. And we've seen multiple times when they cut that down, they're able to play games and keep them tight or be a completely different team whenever they hold on to that ball. So that's going to be huge for this team, and we saw it again tonight. Whenever they hold on to that ball and don't give away easy points to the other team, then they're going to be able to stick with a lot of really good teams throughout the season.
Men's game's going to come up next. Again, we're going to close it out. We'll have Trent May coming up in just a moment here on the post-game show. We'll have his interview, and then we'll get you ready for the men's game. Again, that men's game is going to be on a separate stream, so as soon as this one finishes up, make sure and head to the men's stream, and we'll have that game live for you. Again, your final Southwestern 87, Southern Nazarene 58. We'll have Trent May coming up here in just a moment. You are listening to SNU basketball here on SNU. Back here on the postgame show with head coach Trent May. Coach, thank you for joining us. Obviously a good team you played tonight. First half, I'm going to guess, knowing your expectations, probably had to be very displeased with the first half, but it seemed like in the second half, you guys came out with an effort, came out with a little bit of energy, got some things going in the second half, got some things offensively going. Talk about what you were able to kind of get going in that second half.
Man, James, those are good questions, and and I don't mean to really simplify it, but in my opinion, it's when the very first quarter of the game, and I know you're talking about the second or the third quarter, second half, we were hitting shots. In the third quarter, we were hitting shots. The first quarter, we had a lot of great open looks, a lot of looks, and the difference is when a team can come down, run their stuff, hit a shot, we come down, run our stuff, get no shot. No made basket, and it just spirals out of control quickly. Right. They hit 4 or 5 shots, we miss 4 or 5 shots, and now you're playing catch up the entire game. And it just comes down to sometimes when you run your stuff and you have a look and you can't hit it. We had so many looks in the paint tonight, 3, 4, 5 foot jumpers that just wouldn't go in. Right. And it's something that we try to work in practice at scoring at all 3 levels. We work on layups, we work on mid-range jumpers, we work on threes, and we shoot lights out in any gym on our campus. It's just lately it's just unbelievable on the road. It haunts us every time, and no matter, and you're trying to, whether you call 0 sets or 50 sets or everything in between. I mean, we had, I know they shot a lot of free throws tonight, but we had 56 attempts tonight. They had 53. The biggest difference is the shooting percentage. They knock down shots. They knock down free throws. It's all day long. It's the name of the game is you have to hit shots, and you got to keep the other team from not having easy opportunities. They had their way in the first half in the paint. We did a much better job in the second half, but nonetheless, it still came down to, the shot-making ability, and so that's where we fell really short again on the road in a conference game.
Well, and sometimes when that's happening in the first half, you can't get anything to fall despite good looks. That can be frustrating, and you can be a little defeated. And yet this squad comes out in the second half, and they go toe-to-toe with them in the second half. Talk about their resiliency, because that can be something that can really hurt your confidence, and it didn't seem to faze them at all.
No, and they did a good job, but we didn't talk about offense very much except the press in the halftime session. We were in there almost the whole time for halftime. We talked about our defense, and we gave up more points in the third quarter than we did in the, so I mean it's kind of goes back and forth. Again, we hit shots in the third quarter, and we started having a little confidence, but we didn't do anything to stop and combat their efforts, and they got their will in the paint and lived in there the third quarter. They just drove at us, and we allow that stuff, and and the hard part is if you watch another one of our games, you're probably wondering what we work on in practice, and it's the same speech every single day. We got to stop dribble penetration, and and we got to take care of the ball. Again, sure. another over 20 turnover game. That's at some point, in the games that we don't turn the ball over very much, we're in every single one of them. And sometimes that and taking care of the ball, knocking down shots, and it seems like that, half of it's in control. Making down shots or making shots doesn't mean everyone has control, or every single basketball player in the world will be making shots. But taking care of the ball in my opinion, it's a conscious choice. And they did a good job on their press tonight, but it was only a good job because we didn't attack it like we should. And when we did, we capitalized and had easy looks. And so, but it's just, hats off to them and making shots.
Yeah. All right, well, you've spent 7 of your 8 games on the road. You finally get to come back home yet again. Coming up on the 14th, you'll get to come back to the Sawyer Center. It'll be a great atmosphere with Oklahoma Christian coming in, a good rivalry game. Talk about looking ahead to just getting back on your home floor for a couple of games and getting ready for that contest.
Yeah, it'll be good. The girls have done a really good job in practice. We need to translate practice to games, and so we're going to continue to work. And we've got finals coming up, but there's a lot of practice time in between, and we're going to do our best to continue to get better.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us.
Hey, appreciate you always, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. SNU again falls, but they'll be coming back home December 14th against Oklahoma Christian. Thanks again, Coach.
Thanks.
As we said, we will close this broadcast out. We're going to get you ready for the men's game here shortly. Southern Nazarene and Southwestern Oklahoma State set to do battle here in just a moment. From our partner, Phil Younts, We appreciate everybody joining us here this afternoon. For those asking, we've seen a couple comments asking, where's the video, where's the video? These are audio-only broadcasts. That is why we do not, there is video through SWOSU, but these are audio-only broadcasts. We don't have our full production team to actually do a video broadcast. We're doing this through the computer right now. So just so you know, if you've been tuning in, that is why it has not been an actual video broadcast. All right, we're cutting this one now. Southwestern Oklahoma State takes the 87-58 win over Southern Nazarene. We are coming back with the men. They'll be set to go here in just a moment. Thank you again for joining us, and have a good rest of your day.